What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to cover some of the top scams going on right now and how you can either better protect yourself or avoid these scams altogether. Now, my full-time job the past several years has been as a financial crimes investigator. So unfortunately, I've come to know and learn how these scams work day in and day out and how it affects innocent people every day and how they lose millions of dollars overall to these scams. But by doing this, I've also learned several ways to not only better protect yourself, your identity, but also your money as well. The truth is, we all work hard for our money. So hopefully after watching this video, it may give you a couple of clues or some indicators so you don't fall victim to being one of these scams in the future. The first scam we're gonna cover is internet sales. Websites such as Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, the list goes on and on, offer really a great way to buy products at a really steep discount. But the truth is, by doing this, it also increases the potential for you to become a victim. Here's how it works. It can go several different ways, but some of the most common ways is a person meets up with you, they look at the Xbox, the PlayStation, whatever you're selling, even a pair of shoes, they like it, they take off either by walking, running, to get in the car, leaving you stuck with no money and no product to sell to another customer. Some people even paying counterfeit money. Also, in some cases, they sell you a locked device, such as an iPhone or a PlayStation. When you go to activate it later on, you cannot activate it because it's been reported stolen. Thus, virtually you bought something that is useless. So when it comes to internet scams, two pieces of advice. One, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Listen to your gut. Listen to what your spidey senses are telling you. The second thing is, if you agree to do an internet sale, such off of Facebook, Marketplace, or Craigslist, use a public area or an internet exchange zone. A lot of police departments and sheriff's offices across the United States have these places at their precincts, their headquarters, the stations, whatever the case may be, where it is videoed and people feel a little more comfortable about meeting a stranger in order to conduct a business transaction. Now, if the seller does not want to meet at an internet exchange zone, such as one of these places, I would take that as a clue and probably move on to another buyer. The second one we're going to talk about is prizes, lotteries, and overall gifts. Here's how this could work. Scammers will either email you or send you messages on your computer or over the phone informing you that you want a prize, a lottery, or a gift in general. But they need an upfront payment in order to release the funds. They typically want you to wire them money via Western Union, MoneyGram, or now even through popular apps such as Cash App or Zelle. Now I know this is going to sound a little crazy, but hear me out on this one. No one on this earth died in Nigeria and wants to leave you somewhere around $10 million. Nor is the FBI trying to get in touch with you about some settlement funds.
That's not how it works.
Big piece of advice on this, just stay away from it. Don't click on it. It is not worth your time. And the third scam that's real popular is phishing or spoofing. So this is kind of how this one works. Normally you're gonna get an email or something that looks like it's from your bank, it's from your PayPal account or Apple account. It may say that your personal information needs to be updated or that your account is locked, and they'll provide a link for you to click on it and to go unlock your account. Typically what happens is once you click on this link, it is not going to Apple or to PayPal. When you provide all of that personal information in there, the scammers just got all your personal information that they need in order to unlock your real Apple or PayPal account and to start using your money or making charges off of your account. My advice, if you do get a message like this, please don't click on the link. Just simply log out of your website, your browser, whatever you're using. Either call your bank directly or go to an actual PayPal or Apple website that's not through that link or through your email. Also, in general, check on the top of your browser to make sure your site you're using is secure anytime you're dealing with personal information and especially financial or banking information. And the fourth one is contractor scams. Now, depending on where you live in the United States, this one is very popular in the East Coast and the South when we have a lot of hurricanes or tropical storms that come up. People come to your house posing as a contractor. They look legit. They have invoices. They have business cards. They may even have those magnetic signs on the side of their truck or their SUV, making you believe that they are a contractor. They agree to do some work up front. You give them a little bit of money, and much to your dismay, they never show up because they're not a real contractor, or if they are a real contractor, they're a very shady contractor, and their whole idea is to scam people out of money. A couple indicators to look at this is Are they working out of town? Say if you live in Florida and there's a lot of people from Kentucky come down there. Yes, it's probably because there's an influx of work, but this is an indicator that a lot of out-of-towners will come into another state to scam people out of money because they're not recognized. Chances are they've already done that in another state. Another indicator on this is that they offer you a cash discount, meaning say they will typically charge $1,500 for a job, but if you pay in cash, they'll only charge you $700 and they want the cash up front. That is another clue to kind of be cautious before entering one of these transactions. Another example is a lot of people will utilize concrete or asphalt jobs as a way to scam people out of money. They'll come by your house saying, hey, we're working on a project just a couple miles down the road. We don't have this extra asphalt or concrete. You really looks like you use that in your driveway. Go ahead and give us a couple $100. As soon as we finish the job, we got all the equipment, all the material. We'll come in there, we'll make it look really good. You give them a couple $100 and they never show back up. My big advice on to avoid things like this is to use proven sites like Angie's List or Home Advisor, where people have done reviews and there may be pictures of the workers on that website. You kind of get a better feel of the quality of people that you're going to hire to do a project at your house. Also, check with a local realtor. Local realtors have a vast network of carpenters, contractors, the list goes on people who they refer and trust because their business is all about networks and referrals, so they're typically not going to steer you in the wrong direction. And the fifth one is one of my favorites, and that is romance or friendship scams. Listen, I get it. Everyone wants to be a friend. Everyone wants to have a good relationship. But the idea of doing 100% online relationships can lead people, especially the elderly and people that are very lonely, to a lot of hardships and a lot of money that's going to come out of their pocket during these type of transactions. I have worked cases where people have been in an online relationship for 6 months to over 2 years, and during that period of time they have literally wired thousands and thousands of dollars to their significant other in another state or even in another country. Typically what I see is they build this connection through chat, through even telephone calls, whatever the case may be. They get that emotional bond, and then they have a medical emergency that comes up. They need $5,000 to $10,000, or they need some money to travel over to the United States so they can finally meet up after that whole year of talking online. Much to the victim's dismay, the person never shows up and they just take that money and do whatever, who knows whatever with it. So please be careful if you do engage in an online relationship and you think about sending money. I had a case where a guy wired over $100,000 to what he believed was going to be his girlfriend in Costa Rica. Much to his dismay, he never met the girl, he never got anything out of the relationship, and he lost $100,000, and there was nothing that the local authorities could do or even the financial institutions to recruit that money because he wired it to them. So I'll be blunt on this one. If you're talking to someone that you think's on a scale of 1 to 10, a 9 or 10, and you're probably a 2 or 3, the chances are it's not a real relationship and they're just talking to you, they're catfishing you, they're spoofing you, whatever the term you may want to utilize for this relationship is, I would just stay away from it. Again, if it's too good to be true, the chances are it probably is. The sixth one is telephone scams. Now this one can be very broad because it involves the local energy, your power company, it can city utilities, the IRS. It is very broad in nature, but it's a very effective scam for scammers. And here's how it works. You may get a phone call from someone who has a badge number, a good name, an office number, and it says they're with Social Security, the IRS, or energy company. They say you owe back taxes, and if you don't pay the back taxes within 2 hours or whatever the case may be, they're going to send a SWAT team out to arrest you. First of all, the IRS never calls you. They will send everything to mail, typically certified mail. Second of all, Social Security, you don't owe back Social Security. All that's handled through the Social Security Administration, and it's a very elaborate process if you owe money. And if you're 30 years old, chances are you do not owe money to Social Security. If you work a job, all that's deducted through your paycheck. No one's coming to arrest you. No one's going to throw you in jail for owing what you think is your taxes that you filed 2 years ago, that there may have been an issue with it. The thing that gets people on this one is they think they're doing all the right information when they're talking to these people on the phone. They ask for a badge number, they ask for a supervisor's name, they ask for credentials, and these scammers have all that to make them seem legitimate. just don't answer the phone, or if you do answer the phone, just hang up. You could call the IRS directly. You can call the Social Security Administration directly. Let them tell you if you owe anything. Do not do anything over the phone. And most importantly, if you do owe the IRS money or Social Security or anyone, the power company, they're not going to want to be paid in Google Play cards or Amazon gift cards or Rush cards or Green Dot cards or MoneyGram or Western Union. That is the first sign that this is 100% a scam. If someone from the IRS or any of those institutions are wanting you to pay something that you owe in delinquent funds on some type of gift card. And also, the clerk of court or the county sheriff is not going to come arrest you if you miss jury duty. You're typically going to get something in the mail from the clerk of court saying, hey, you missed jury duty and you need to contact this number in order to make amends or figure out what your next step in the process is. If you get any type of phone calls or messages like this, simply hang up, call the clerk's office directly or the local sheriff or whatever area you live in. Call them directly and let them run your information, and don't engage these scammers over the phone. Of course, there are a lot more scams out there, and with technology increasing, the potential to be targeted by scammers is higher than it's ever been before. Last year, it was reported that scams cost people over $56 billion. Now, I personally think that number is very low, because that's only taken into account people that actually filed a report and reported that whatever dollar figure. I think there's a lot more people out there that's been scammed that's never even filed a report because they're embarrassed or they know it's not going to go anywhere, whatever the case may be. So this number could easily be doubled, tripled. Who knows what the actual true number is for victims falling susceptible to these scams. In my experience as a financial crimes investigator, obviously teenagers and the elderly are most at risk. Now, of course, everyone is a potential victim for financial scams or frauds, but a lot of times they target those people because of their life experience or their ability to disorient them, or they may not understand 100%, especially the elderly, how technology works, and it's just an easy target for them. So if you're in type of one of these transactions or whatever the case may be, and you get that gut feeling that something just isn't right, or you get those spidey senses, that's where you need to stop. Call the local police. That's what they're there to do, is to help you. Call your bank. They're very knowledgeable when it comes to these scams. Call a friend, call a family. Use technology to your advantage. If you're getting crazy numbers from, you live in Florida and it's numbers from New York calling you about the IRS, Google that number and see if someone else is reported as a potential scam. Use the technology to your advantage just as much as they're using it to try to scam you. My overall advice as a financial crimes investigator is to limit your digital footprint as much as possible. Do not use multiple devices. Don't use public Wi-Fi. Make sure you have very secure internet protection when you're using your either computer or your phone, and try to use cash as much as possible. I know it's 2021 and cash is very limited on sometimes, and it's easier to use debit cards or Apple Pay, whatever the case may be, but the truth is cash does at least reduce the risk of you being a victim to a financial crime. And don't forget to use sites like Credit Karma. This is a site that I use every week on my personal credit score to see what is going on with my credit score. If I see something that pops up that doesn't look right, that's how you're able to catch it early on and maintain that good credit score. If you've never used a site like Credit Karma, I put the link in the description box below. It's 100% free, and it's an easy way to monitor your finances or your overall identity. And please let me know what you think in the comment section. If you've even dealt with these scams, or if there's something you've dealt with that I may be able to answer a question you may have, or do a video on a separate topic or different type of scams, let me know. I'm open to suggestions and would love to push that out. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video. Later.